When Jesus, who made the disciples get into the boat, the Bible says that when he decided to reveal himself to them was just before dawn. If the goal that God has is to comfort us, then this is a late appearance. But if God's goal is sometimes to change us, then it makes sense that he would show up late. Once upon a time, I taught a sermon called Trusting God's Timing. And the idea behind it is that when we're experiencing something and it's very intense, we just want relief. And I get that. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that there were times that I just wanted God to make stuff stop. And I just want to check with you real quick. Have you ever just wanted God to make it stop? Just make it stop. Just make it stop. God, I'll do anything. Just make it stop. God, I'm sorry about that thing I did when I was in 7th grade. Just make it stop. And I mean, it can be a heartbreak. It can be a lot of times a loss in your life and you just feel like you're hemorrhaging and hurting. God, just make it stop. In the King James version of Matthew chapter 14, it says that it was the 4th watch of the night when Jesus came to them. That's the very last one. That's 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., the 4th watch. And yet, interestingly enough, the Bible says he went on a mountain to pray. I've actually been to this site. And when our guide took us to show us the mountain that Jesus might have prayed on, do you remember how he left us up there for a moment? And he really tricked us because when he left us up there, he was designing to show us that the sea that the disciples were straining in was visible to Jesus from his prayer station the whole time. And he said, just because they didn't see Jesus didn't mean Jesus didn't see them. Point 2, part B. This won't be on the test. Just because I don't see him doesn't mean he's not watching me. And he left us up there on the mountain. He left us up there for an hour. The guide, when we went to Israel. And I cried about the times in my life where I thought he had left me. The 4th watch. The 4th watch. The 1st watch isn't so bad. 2nd watch. 3rd watch. I feel like we're in a moment right now, at least in our nation. I don't know exactly what it's like in your country. It feels kind of like the 4th watch right now. For a lot of us, not for all of us. The novelty has worn off of everything. Oh, when we first started going into quarantine, I was like, well, this is kind of cool. You know, life's slowing down a little bit. We'll have a little more family time. My quiver is full now. I've had enough family time to last me till my daughter is 40 and she's 9 right now. And I love my kids. But how about 4th watch faith? See, I've seen a lot of people with 1st watch faith, 2nd watch faith, 3rd watch faith. But God's timing is not designed to give us relief. So, if it's not designed to give you relief, what's it designed to give you? Revelation. Chris, I'm gonna run a lap. I'll be right back. Hey, I know y'all can't see me, but if you can hear me, shout. That just because you can't see him doesn't mean he left you. Come on, his eye was on the boat the whole time. He's watching you. He's watching you. He's watching you. He's guiding me. He's leading me. So, it's interesting that God's timing, you know, our timing is usually allocated around when we think God should do things. And then we start, the longer it goes, this is just in my life, okay? So, please send me a critical email if you found God to be different and your experience contradicts what I'm saying. I found that the longer I wait, the louder my what ifs get. But the third thing I wanted to tell you in Water Walking 101, are you enjoying the class so far? Now, this is the point in the semester where you need to cancel if you want to drop the class. This is the last point to cancel, okay? If you're still in, say, I'm in. I want to teach you something very powerful. And this is what I really want to teach about. What if works both ways? The wind was against them. The word was for them. And what if works both ways? So when we get into hypothetical situations, the longer that we wait on God to change certain situations, and once again, how many are there right now? And maybe you even feel like you're drowning in what you don't know. And you've analyzed it, and there's a certain element of it you can't control. Because the devil didn't start this storm. Jesus sent them directly into it. So a lot of us, we would turn around at this point and say, well, maybe we didn't hear him right. But they pressed to the other side. Because, watch this, are you awake? What if there's something on the other side that is worth going through the storm for? Oh, I feel the Spirit of God. Is it just me? Or is it harder sometimes for us to give faith to the what if than it is to give fear to the what if? And just like the wind blows, the wind can blow in either direction. So can the what ifs. And a lot of times in my life, I've learned that fear is just faith in the wrong what if. So watch this. What if we fail? What if we don't? We're here with a lot of our staff. We had some training and I asked them to stay around and help me preach to you. And we told some of the stories, but we didn't tell all the stories about when we started the church. Holly was reminding me of one the other day where just as soon as we went to start the church, the resources that were supposed to be given for our salary were pulled back. And then somebody else was going to pay our insurance, and that got pulled back. Now, if my faith in God was contingent upon the conditions, I would have taken that as a sign that God didn't speak to me to start the church. But what if the wind is proof that what's on the other side is so significant that you have to push through to get there? A lot of us, we interpret the wind as an indication that we should turn back around and head home. But in this particular situation, Jesus said, I want you to go to the other side. Now here comes the wind. That represents resistance. For you, that may represent depression. For you, that might represent anxiety. We all go through different storms. And as I've taught from this pulpit before, comparing the size of your storm to my storm and the significance of my storm to your storm serves no purpose. The greatest thing about the passage is that Peter didn't even really express faith. He just considered possibility. And I'm going to show you this. He didn't say, Lord, I know it's you. Tell me to come. He said, Lord, if. What if? What if works both ways? What if can make you give up? What if can make you freak out? Or what if can make you step forward. And yet I want you to notice something Jesus did. Are you ready? This is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. He said, if it's you, give me a word. And Jesus took him really literally. He gave him one word. One word. One word. One word. Did you see it in the text?